flashlight on your camera. Thanks for your cooperation.
The world #1 pair meeting the world ranked #8 pair, but fair to say, while Kien and Haifeng keep going along in a very consistent manner, which is very good, very good, and very good. Not quite been the same consistency for Kien Tan, who seemingly on the slide, and they weren't even picked together for yesterday's match against Denmark, even though they had a 7-3 record against Boon Mogensen. Tan Kim Hare's doubles gamble certainly didn't pay off, and he's put his strongest pair back together and his strongest #2 pair out in the second doubles, if we get that far. In some respect, you can understand what he was trying to do, because Kien Tan, well, they've not been at their best in recent times, Jill.
No, they've been struggling a little bit, but then when you've been world #1 for 54 weeks, there's only one way to go, isn't there? You can't get any higher than that. And of course, they were world #1s between October 2009 and November 2010. So, you know, they did have the most incredible run. And, you know, they've just gone off the boil a little bit. I think when they first formed their partnership, you know, they won the Asian Games gold medal in Doha in 2006. There was great excitement about them with their first full year on tour, which of course was 2007. 6 titles that year, and you know, it was such a sensational start to their partnership that, you know, I think there's a time when perhaps a few years later it gets a little bit stale, and perhaps you need to try something a little bit different to get that spark back again. But don't write them off, they're still a world-class pair in my opinion.
They are. They're extremely entertaining at times as well, but they are up against a very impressive duo in Haifeng and Kien. They have been absolutely brilliant. Obviously, they've still got the Olympics to look to, and to try and improve on their 2 previous Olympics quarter-finalists, semi-finalists before, and well, they could end up meeting this pair in the Olympics in London as well. They have met on many occasions. This is their 13th meeting. At the moment, Fu and Kai lead 8-4.
I think what's interesting on that, though, Richard, is the fact that 8 of those 12 meetings have gone the full distance, gone to 3 games. But in recent times, you have to say that the Chinese pair have been quite dominant. They've won 6 of the last 7 meetings. So psychologically, I think for the Malaysians, this is quite a tough one. Look at that win-loss record for the year, 9-1. Only 2 tournaments, individual tournaments played. Won the Korean Open, lost in the final of the All England to Jung Jae-sung and Lee Yong-dae, and of course Jung Jae-sung not here, suffering from a lower back injury.
Yeah, they're the only ones that have beaten them. Well, there's the win-loss ratio for Tan and Koo this year. 13 wins, 4 defeats. Did win when they defended their title in Malaysia, the Grand Prix event there. But lost in the quarterfinals of the Indian Open prior to that, and lost in the second round to Wei Hong and Yishin in the second round of the All England. Confirmation there, the last meeting did go to 3 games, 21-19 as well in the final game. But as you mentioned, 8-4 maybe to Fu and Kai, but bearing in mind Koo and Tan won their first 2 meetings when they met back in 2007. It's certainly been the Chinese pair dominant since then.
I should just point out as well, Richard, that these head-to-head statistics we get are only from ranking tournaments. So when they've met in Asian Games,
yeah,
those haven't counted towards these head-to-head statistics.
Well, this is a mouth-watering clash, isn't it, really? Much to look forward to here. What will we get from Koo and Tan? I think we pretty much know what we're going to get from Kai and Fu. They're a great consistency, but if Tan and Koo can be at their best, it could be one of the great matches of the week.
Absolutely. And perhaps Koo and Tam will say to themselves they've got nothing to lose, in that they're not expected to win. Pressure's off. Wolfgang Lund from France, our umpire.
China to serve. Sayun to get level play.
So China lead by 1-0 in the tie. Can Koo and Tan show they should have been together yesterday in the match against Denmark? They've got a point to prove. They've taken the opening point.
That's a super return.
You noticed the bandaging that had been removed off the knees of Lin Dan. I think you spotted another one, haven't you, Jill?
Yes, indeed. I noticed yesterday that Fu Haifeng, the left-handed Chinese player, was playing with his elbow heavily strapped, and today doesn't appear to be wearing any strapping. Still got strapping on his knee, though, but certainly not on his elbow as he did yesterday.
Fast start by the Malaysians.
Oh my
See,
goodness.
this is what he can do. He's such a flamboyant, exciting player to watch when he's at his best.
Yes, and yesterday I didn't see any of this sort of inspirational play.
There's two of them already from him. Great flick serve. Oh, got out of the way well, didn't he there, Fu Haifeng? Dodged a bullet.
Great angle on the smash there from Kai-yun.
Well, one world number one pair saluting another world number one pair there.
That's clever. Oh, he's missed it. No, you'd normally expect every time that Kai-yun goes forward to the net that he's going to play a winner.
A misunderstanding there.
Oh, yes.
Service over.
Boon Heong did very well to get back for the flick serve. And then Keat, and that change of pace at the net.
Well, Keat made such a good start here. They were 5-1 up, but they head into the interval 11-8 down, and terrific response by Kien and Haifeng there. They really turned that around. Not that the Malaysians did anything particularly wrong, but so consistent again, weren't they? They're the Chinese.
Service over. 9-11.
I have to see this as a real opportunity to gain some much needed confidence here, Kien. Just keeping the Malaysians at an arm's length here, aren't they?
Service over. 10-12.
So often the Malaysians just appear to me to be too content to defend and lift it again and lift it again. And what they need to be doing is trying to turn their defensive play into their own attack by driving the shuttle back or turning it, blocking it.
14-10.
Really sucked in the crowd there with that hard hitting. There they go again. And you're right, the Malaysians here somehow have to try and up their game here.
The second match of Thomas Cup quarterfinals in Port 3. Men's doubles representing Germany.
Oh my goodness.
That's how you turn it.
Representing Korea, Yu Hyun-sung, Ko Sung-hyun.
Extraordinary movements in that rally from Kien at the front of the court. I don't know whether we'll get an opportunity to see it again, but when it went up to his partner's forehand side, he moved to the same side of the court, in other words, threatening the opponents and saying, don't you dare play it back in this direction.
12-15. Service over. 13-16.
I'd like to see him hit a good low serve and really hunt the net. Now you see he came from under it, wasn't trying to attack it.
Just look, they're doing their best here, aren't they? Kurantan to try and stay with them here.
That's better.
And now just within a point.
Now, when you've played that good low serve, you've got to have your racket up ready, looking for that third shot. And he did that quite brilliantly in that last rally, Boon Heong. And again.
Happy faces from the locals from Wuhan, the river city here in central China. Happy to see their boys back on the front foot again. 2-point advantage.
Well, wrong choice of shot, I suspect, from Keat in the middle of that rally. That cross-court net shot played his side into trouble. Oh my goodness me. What was he trying to do there, Keat?
I just think he saw a flash of Haifeng coming at him.
19-15.
Yeah, got it all wrong. And the game is slipping away.
Good serve.
Service over. 17-19.
Oh, well left. Very good judgment from Kien.
Brings up game points. And that's that. 21-17. I'm not trying to take anything away from Kien Fu there, but it was a workmanlike opening game from them, wasn't it? It wasn't exactly like I felt like they had to be at their most explosive best to take that.
No, and that's the thing with Kien Fu. You said right at the start of the match, you always know what you're going to get from them. They're very workmanlike, they're very professional. And as far as the Malaysians are concerned, for Malaysian fans, it will bother them that you always know that within the match they'll give away some cheap points. They never manage to keep it tight enough for the entirety of a match. They show moments of absolute brilliance. Great to watch. They do the unexpected, but they'll also make some very, very naive choices.
In Portugal, women's doubles, representing Chinese Haifeng, Kien. Representing Korea, Kien.
Well, is this to be the end of Malaysia's role at this Thomas Cup? Boon, Heong, you just saw there. Look at the stats first. More overhead winners.
Twice as many. Same number of winners from the net. What does that tell us?
Yeah.
Tells us that the Malaysians must have made an awful lot of unforced errors. But 284 on Boon Heong's smash wasn't too shabby, was it?
Yeah, just 6 kilometers per hour past Kai's partner. Shy of him. 290 we've had from Haifeng.
Second game, love on, play.
Well, that's why you have to have your racket up ready after you've played a good low serve. I don't think Kai Yun actually knew much about that, but came off his racket and went over.
Won the point.
Service over. 1-all.
Oh, that's quick. Yeah, good to see them talking to each other. Even a little smile.
There have been times when Ku and Tan haven't been talking to each other. I suppose partners do fall out now and again. It's inevitable. I know you've played many doubles matches with many partners, Jill. I'm sure you had your moments. Don't have to divulge any of them, but it's inevitable, isn't it, when you spend so much time with one person in practice and then on court.
Yeah, that's true, and you know the number of doubles partnerships that, you know, a country like China, of course, has so many excellent players to choose from, but other nations, perhaps some of the European nations and so on, they don't have so many choices, and you've got to put the two best players together, and there's no necessity for them to be friends off court, but it makes sense to play doubles together.
Well, can they maintain this start? They couldn't in game one. What about this one, game two?
6-2.
280. Fu Haifeng with that smash. Here comes another. It keeps coming back at them. Great rally. That's an important point. Boon Heong there, fourth Thomas Cup appearance for him finals-wise. Hardly played when he made his debut in 2006, and they were together with Kien Keat in 2008, but they were dropped as a pair. Tan was the one dropped, and then of course in 2010, probably the highlights of their career when they beat Bo and Mogensen in that semi-final. Beg your pardon, quarter-final to get to the semi-final, it was.
It's a lovely change of pace from the back of the court from Kien, setting up the rally, setting up his partner.
Well, do I need to say what Keat thinks of it? He's convinced that's the wrong call. Will we see a replay? Yes, we will.
5-8.
Oh, yeah, that was wide.
Well, he did have the best view of it, but you can sometimes they look at it with blinkered eyes, but he was right there, wasn't he? Let's hope that doesn't become a decisive moment. That definitely wide.
No, it might actually have a beneficial effect on the Malaysians in that it fires them up even more.
So it's fascinatingly poised now in this second game.
9-5.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Over. 6-9.
Well, two very loose rallies there from Kien Keat.
Service over. 10-7.
Tan Kim He looking a little anxious at the moment.
Oh yeah, I mean the expectation of course is for China to win this match comfortably, but Tan and Koo here can pull off the coup, and you just never know what might happen.
Oh, that was going miles out. Oh,
They
got
won
away with it.
Yeah, they won the point in the end. Had to win it twice, though.
Service over. 8-12.
Got who was serving there, the Chinese.
Service over. 13-8. Service over. 9-13.
Well, service error, and then Ku putting it wide as well. Just gets this second game a little tighter. Still a good lead, though, for the Malaysian pair.
You know, that serve into the net, or that service error from Keat just a moment ago, when the Malaysians were leading 13-8, all of a sudden hands the initiative back, and look, here we are, just 2 points in it. 5-point advantage. Simple error changes the momentum of a match.
Service over. 14-11.
Superb net shot from Haifeng.
12-14.
Oh, that's nice. Oh, his racket's gone. Running off to get a new racket. Oh,
How frustrating is that?
Oh, dear me.
Then got a new racket, and then his partner bids it out. Why did I bother? He's had one of those infuriating games, hasn't he? Kicking Keat to brilliance and the flamboyance mixed in with the needless errors.
13-14.
Now just 1 point in it.
Six of the last 7 points going to the Chinese pair
And all started
with a service error.
and suddenly Kien are ahead here.
14.
And the height he gets on that. What a leap.
14. Service over.
Well, the Malaysians desperately needed that point. Can they build on it though?
There's your answer, Jill. Patient comeback from Kien and Haifeng here. Gets them on the verge of giving China a 2-0 lead. He'll go all day if you like. Oh, it's a winner. You set him up, I'll knock him down.
Just do not understand the logic of the Malaysian pair in that rally. First of all, Keat and Keat just so content to lift off the defence instead of trying to do something with the shuttle. And then finally, when they got the opportunity to attack themselves, he was static at the net. Didn't move at all to try and get that return.
18-15.
It was a good shot to watch. That was tongue-in-cheek, Jim.
Service over. 16-18.
And suddenly, what looked like could become a 3-gamer, is suddenly within the realms of possibility of ending very quickly. Kai and Fu closing in.
Service over. 17-19.
Agonising for Tan. It brings up match points. One wasn't gobbled up, a couple more still remain.
18-20.
Comprehensive, really. 21-17, 21-18, and China are on the verge of a semi-final here as they look to win the Thomas Cup for a 5th year in a row. No panic was there from Haifeng and Kien. They trailed 13-8, but they gnawed away at the lead. Helped on their way by a few critical errors from the Malaysian duo, the former world number ones. Out of reach. Well, maybe so too of China here. Lin Dan and now Haifeng and Kien have put them on the verge of a place in the last 4. 36 minutes on court, 21-17, 21-18. Smash of 289 from Haifeng. 1 short. That's a kilometre per hour short of his fastest. And it's pretty close in terms of winners. It's those errors.
So that confirms that China 2-love up after the first 2 matches in this quarter-final of the Thomas Cup here in Wuhan. Next on court, second men's singles, Chen Long, the world number 3, up against Mohammed Hafiz.